Wee. Sorry. Let's be serious. Alex Hormozi always approaches his goals with the framework: how much work do I need to do for it to be unreasonable for me not to achieve this goal? And proceeds to set that unreasonable amount of work as a standard. I think this framework embodies doing as much as you can and literally leaving nothing on the table. Because people are always saying, do your best, do as much as you can. This is what doing as much as you can is. But now when you word it like that, TJ! When you word it like that, it just sounds too much. And when you think about making it unreasonable for you not to achieve your goals, it's very simple. Because by you doing more, you're not guaranteeing success, but you're lowering the chances of failure. By doing an unreasonable amount of work, you're gonna give yourself the peace of mind knowing that, I've done everything that I can do. And it'll be easier for you to believe yourself because you'll be thinking, if I'm doing so much work, why shouldn't I succeed? Why shouldn't I be the best? You just back yourself up. And you see this mentality in most of the greats in sports. Like, I was watching The Last Dance. I say I was watching. It was 4 years ago during the 2020 lockdown. It's now 2024. So I watched The Last Dance and I noticed that Michael Jordan was one of the hardest working people. And because he was always doing an unreasonable amount of work, he deserved to be as confident as he was. This sounds very simple in theory, but we all know in practice how hard it can be to even do the bare minimum, to even just show up. Sometimes simply getting out of bed is the hardest thing you will do that day. And you're thinking, now imagine doing so much work that will be unreasonable for you not to achieve what you want to achieve. Keep in mind, I've only been doing this unreasonable type thing for like the past few weeks. So I'm only a few weeks in. And I wish I could give you some philosophy, some way of thinking that would help it click in your head that, it's not that bad to do the unreasonable thing. It is that bad. It is hard. You will not feel like doing it most days. Like, there's nothing I can tell you. And I think there are just certain realities of life that you just have to accept rather than trying to fight. And once you accept them, you'll be able to operate with peace. Yes, it'll be hard, but you have peace. You're just gonna have to embrace the suck. I've gotten out of the business of expecting things to be different, because when I expect things to be different, I'm distracting myself from what needs to be done. So I may still be doing what I think needs to be done, but I won't be doing it to the capacity that I'm capable of. I need to go and shayo. Sorry, I digress. The point was, to be unreasonable is going to be extremely hard. But such is simply a reality of this world that no one can avoid. You're not going to be able to avoid the hard times. You're not going to be able to avoid the hardships that come with the territory. Even in life, you will never be able to avoid hard times. Have you ever met someone who isn't younger than 3 years old that hasn't been through a hard time? Okay, maybe 6 years old. The point is, have you ever met an adult that has never been through a hard time? See, we run away from hardship, we run away from pain, but somehow we're always going to get hard times. So it just shows that there are certain realities of life that you can never run away from. All you can do is accept them, and you get the peace from acceptance. So this year especially, let's aim to be unreasonable, to do so much that would be unreasonable for us not to achieve our goal. And I say this year especially because last year I was very reasonable. In fact, I was worse than reasonable. I was doing less than was required. So this year I really set myself the goal to be unreasonable, to do unreasonable amounts of work for my goals. And I haven't set many goals because I don't think you can do unreasonable work in like 10 different fields at the same time. So this year I have much less goals than I'd have in a normal year. And I'll see how it goes. Because like the quote on my wall says, I say like you know what the quote on my wall says, but it said, what would happen if you didn't cheat yourself for the whole year? If you genuinely gave it your all every single day? I think giving it your all every single day is being unreasonable. And look, I don't know how things will go. I don't know where being unreasonable is going to take me, but I'm excited to see. And I think you should try it as well.